there, very good evening and a warm welcome. This is Rupavahini News and I'm Sharma Screens.
And I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, we take a look at the headlines.
The World Bank praises Sri Lanka's development progress. The Asian Tribune website reveals that Sri Lanka has to face US diplomatic assault in Geneva. Indo-Lanka fisheries representatives agree to settle fishermen's issues. The talks between Syrian government and the opposition ended in a deadlock.
Well, moving on to the news in detail. President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the government has fulfilled a historic task to gain an unprecedented development in the country. He added that such a development was not expected even after 100 years. He revealed that several powers who were not willing to see Sri Lanka becoming a powerful country in Asia are now active within the island nation. The president was speaking at the 20th anniversary celebrations of the District Chamber of Commerce at the Singapore Hall in Hambantota today. Addressing the gathering, the president said that a business community was created based on a port like Godawaya harbour, which was evident in Ruhunu Magampura. People born in the south had to visit Colombo to move forward as businessmen. They started pavement businesses. Today, they have become business magnates. Their roots were in the south, he said. This district is now transforming into an area where people are visiting from Colombo to start business ventures. People in the area could play vital roles to change Colombo-based development and businesses. He said that he thought about this since the year 2005. The development was taken to the village and provinces. Development activities carried out in the village going beyond the western province. This change is now taking place rapidly, he said. We are now ready to reawaken ourselves, he said. This was a good opportunity for the people in the south to rise as businessmen building the economy of Ruhuna. He emphasized the need of conducting board meetings of entrepreneurs in foreign countries. This era will emerge in Hambantota soon. However, he pointed out that there were certain elements who were not willing to see Sri Lanka becoming a powerful country in Asia. Businessmen in the south should compete with international business community, but not against entrepreneurs in Colombo or Kandy. He revealed that the country has gained political independence and it should be protected by everyone.
ආර්ථික වශයෙන් ගොඩනැගෙන ව්‍යාපාරිකයන් වශයෙන් ඔබට ගොඩනැගෙන්න හොඳම අවස්ථාව මේක. පිටරටවල ඔවුන්ගේ බෝඩ් මීටින්ග්ස් මෙහාට ගේන්න ඕන. හම්බන්තොට එන යුගය වැඩි කලක් යන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඉතින් අපේ රට ආසියාවේ බලවත්ම රටක් බවට පත් වෙනවට කැමති. පත් වෙනවා බලන්න කැමති නැති උදවියක් ඉන්නවා මේ රටේ. ඔබ අද තරක් කරන්න ඕන කොළඹ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මහනුවර කොළඹ ඉන්න ගාල්ලින්න ව්‍යාපාරිකයත් එක්ක නෙවෙයි. ජාත්‍යන්තර ව්‍යාපාරික ලෝකයට ඔබ ඇතුල් වෙන්න ඕන. අපි දේශපාලන නිදහස අද ගත්තා. ඒ ලබාගත් නිදහස අපි ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න ඕන. ඒ නිදහස නැතුව ආර්ථික නිදහසක් උදා කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ අපිට.
The World Bank has praised Sri Lanka's development progress. The World Bank Vice President for the South Asia region, Philip Lehureru, says that the country is now moving forward with a correct vision and direction. He expressed these views when he met President Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees in Colombo today. Mr. Hureru noted that he had visited several areas in the island, including the northeast, and during these visits, he has seen the country's development progress. He made a special praise on the quality maintaining constructing highways. He added that Sri Lanka's private sector is possessed with highly efficient persons and they have valuable ideas. Sri Lanka has been able to gain a high progress within a short period after ending the war. But the president pointed out that certain groups and powers were exerting unnecessary pressure on the country, completely ignoring the island nation's progress. While noting that the country possesses conducive environment for investors such as political stability, attractive incentives and simplified procedure, President Rajapaksa told Mr. Hureru that his priority is to attract more investors. The World Bank Vice President for South Asia region said that their bank is willing to maintain a continuous relationship with Sri Lanka. Foreign Ministry Secretary Dr. P.B. Jayasundara also attended the discussions.
The Asian Tribune website reports that Sri Lanka has to face U.S. diplomatic assault in Geneva next month. The Web's news report revealed that the U.S., which is accusing Sri Lanka of human rights violations and war crimes, has refused to investigate into their own human rights violations. Well, the Amnesty International in its 2008 report has highlighted the culpability of war crimes by the United States. Several details on various war crimes committed by the United States, ignoring international law during the war against global terror, had been revealed. It has expressed unwillingness to conduct international investigations into such crimes. The United States and Britain were of the view that war crime investigations should only be carried out against certain selected countries such as Sri Lanka. They were preparing to bring another set of proposals against Sri Lanka at the UN Human Rights Council sessions in Geneva next month. The Asian Tribune website pointed out that their aim was to take Sri Lanka to the Geneva sessions, fulfilling the agenda of the Tamil diaspora, completely forgetting the United States slogans of responsibility and transparency in their efforts to combat global terror. However, the majority of member countries of the UN Human Rights Council have praised the measures taken by Sri Lanka to protect human rights and maintain reconciliation. Well, these countries were of the view that a necessary time frame should be given to Sri Lanka to tackle these issues. Meanwhile, Iran has pledged its continuous support to the island nation.
Well, today marks the completion of 4 years after releasing the results of the 6th presidential election of independent Sri Lanka. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has recorded a landslide victory in the election with a majority of over 1.8 million votes. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has won the 2005 presidential election by a majority of around 181,000 votes. The development process has not only confined to the city during the period up to now. The government has focused attention on infrastructure facilities development, including electricity, water supply and roads since the year 2005. Humanitarian operations have been implemented continuously. The President has been able to move the country towards a juncture expected by the people, building express highways, massive reservoirs and international stadiums. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has achieved a great victory in the presidential election in 2010 as a result of these massive development activities. He has been able to secure 10 times more than the majority of votes he received in the 2005 presidential poll. A new development era began from that time onwards. This review is on the southern province during the President Mahinda Rajapaksa's era, which had taken development to village. Rupavahini, alias Southern Province, has added a dignity to Sri Lanka from ancient times. This province is bounded with natural beauty and other resources. Galle is the city of the province. Sri Lanka's second international airport was built in Mattala in the Southern Province in accordance with the Mahinda Chintana policy statement. Many employment opportunities were created for the people in the Southern Province following the construction of the airport. Economic analysts point out that it will further be expanded in the future. The Southern Express Highway is another major juncture in the development of the Southern Province. It is a fine opportunity for the people to connect with the city expeditiously. Media personnel who covered the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Colombo were of the view that many information disseminated about Sri Lanka were false. They noted that they should take a lead to disseminate the development reality of Sri Lanka. The international conference hall at Magam Ruwanupura, the venue of the Commonwealth Youth Forum, has become very useful for the people in the Southern Province as well as the international community. Hambantota Port has been transformed to a busy international trade centre. Suryavava Stadium is very popular among local and foreign sportsmen and women as well as sports lovers. The Dry Zone Botanical Garden is built with the aim of protecting fauna and flora and for the benefit of the people. 90% of the construction work at the Botanical Garden has been completed. However, the government has allocated highest financial provisions for the Southern Province education, health, self-employment projects, irrigation, local milk products and people being implemented under the Divinagama program. The rapid development in the south has been able to change the lifestyle of the people in a positive manner.
Moving on to Kegol, the Kegol Outer Circular Road has been vested in the people at a ceremony presided over by President Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday. This was another project aimed at accelerating the development of the country's road network. It has provided a permanent solution to the heavy vehicular traffic prevailing in the Kegol town for a long period. The Kegol town is considered as a town with the highest vehicular traffic in the island. Motorists had to face many difficulties when travelling a 2-kilometre distance from Ranmala to Nipitia. Sometimes they had to wait in traffic for around 45 minutes when passing the city limits. In many instances, patients had died in ambulances due to the inability to rush them to the hospital on time as a result of heavy vehicular traffic. Solutions suggested by the authorities have not been implemented for several years, but the present government took measures to accelerate the construction of the 4.2-kilometre outer circular road in Kegol. It was built at a cost of 3.5 billion rupees under the supervision of the Road Development Authority. It has a 70-metre flyover with a height of 55 metres. Motorists could enter this road from Nipitia in Kegol, and it is connected to the Kandy Road from Ranmala Junction. Motorists could use this road to bypass the Kegol city. The President also declared open the Nidahas Mawata in Kegol, which was built to coincide with the 66th independence ceremony of Sri Lanka, depicting the historic heritage of dignity of the city of Kegol. A sum of around 150 million rupees was spent to build the road.
An agreement has been reached on fishermen's issues between Indo-Lanka fisheries representatives. Indian fishermen have agreed to suspend the banned bottom trawling fishing method for a period of 1 month. Talks on Indo-Lanka fishermen's issue were held in Chennai with the participation of fisheries representatives of Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka today. 24 fishermen's representatives of India and 15 from Sri Lanka participated in these talks. The meeting was presided over the Tamil Nadu Fisheries Minister K.A. Jayapal. Indian fishermen have made a request to grant them a 14-day amnesty period to carry out bottom trawling fishing system. They have agreed to completely desist from the system for a period of 1 month. These agreements reached by the two parties will be forwarded for the endorsement of the governments of the two countries. Representatives of the two parties will meet again to discuss towards a lasting solution to this problem after 1 month. Sri Lankan Deputy High Commissioner in Chennai, Shabrullah Khan, and the Director General of the Sri Lanka Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Department, Nimal Hettiarachchi, and senior officials were present.
Well, the Western and Southern Provincial Councils election campaigns are now underway with the people to win the support of the people. Well, the Kalutara District Convention of the Rata Nagana Nilralla program was held today. Minister Basil Rajapaksa was the chief guest. It was organized by Minister Rohita Abegunawardena.
දේශපාලන බලවතෙක් වුණත් රජයේ නිලධාරියෙක් වුණත් අත්තර අපේ ආරාධනය අද මේ නියෝජිත සම්මේලනයට
The United People's Freedom Alliance Colombo District activist meeting was held in Piliambar yesterday. Candidates contesting the provincial council election from Kasbah electorate were introduced at the meeting. Ministers Basil Rajapaksa and Ministers Gamini Lokuge and Minister Dhamal Veerawans was present. And meanwhile, a ceremony to commemorate the 58th birth anniversary of the late Bharat Lakshman Premachandra was held at the Sirmau Bandaranayaka Felicitation Library premises in Walpola yesterday, and we just gave you footage of that, where floral tributes were paid by Mrs. Premachandra and Hirunika Premachandra.
You're watching the news on Rupavahini, and still on local news, the historic Jai Shri Ma Bodhiya has brought to Sri Lanka from India 2,321 years ago. The special religious ceremony to mark the occasion was held opposite the Jai Shri Ma Bodhiya recently. Sangamita Ma Thera has brought the southern sapling of the Jai Shri Ma Bodhiya in Bodh Gaya to Sri Lanka from Dhammakulapatana to Jaffna. According to the history of Buddha Sasana, the Bodh sapling was kept at the area where the present Nagavihari is located in Jaffna and conducted the first veneration of the Shri Ma Bodhiya. The Mahavansa book of Sri Lanka history revealed that the Jai Shri Ma Bodh sapling was brought to Anuradhapura via Bamanugama alias Tantrimale and to Anuradhapura. It was planted in front of the southern door of the King's Palace in Anuradhapura. The Mahabodhi religious ceremony was organized by the Sidhuhat Vikku Foundation and Sri Mahabodhi Foundation of the directors of the Venerable Batugara Sankichayana Thero. A large number of devotees were present at the religious ceremony.
Now, moving on to some business-related news, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has organized a special program to select the 2014 Dare to Kirula Best Entrepreneur under the theme Rupavahini Entrepreneur Crown 2014. Well, the aim is to select the best entrepreneurs in Puttalam, Kurunegala and Kegol districts in connection with the Dare to Kirula National Development Exhibition and introduce them at national level as well to assess entrepreneurs. A discussion on this program was held at the Rupavahini Corporation premises today with the participation of heads of chambers of commerce in the three districts. SRRC Chairman Bimal Rupasinghe, Director General Chandapala Liyanage and senior managers attended the meeting. 45 best entrepreneurs will be selected from 3 districts. And of them, the most outstanding entrepreneur will be selected from the small, medium and large-scale businesses for their entrepreneurial skills and presented with awards. Well, advertisements on this awards program will be published in the Divena and also the island newspapers, and it will be telecast over Rupavahini. Applications could be obtained from the headquarters of Chambers of Commerce in the 3 districts, and applicants should complete these application forms and hand it over to the headquarters of Chambers of Commerce and Industries of Puttalam, Kurunegala and Kegol areas on or before the 7th of February. With the Economic Development Ministry, Sri Lanka Chambers of Commerce and Industry and the Provincial Industrial Development Ministries are extending their assistance for this program. Well, on that entertaining note, we are moving on to the sports news and we have the muscle man of SRRC Sports, Dinesh. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Very good evening indeed. Starting up the sports news, Sri Lankan openers made a solid start after Eranga and Lakmal shared 7 wickets between them to bowl Bangladesh out for a low score of 232 runs in their first innings at close of play on the first day of their first test in Dhaka today. Sri Lankan skipper Angelo Matthews has won the toss and invited Bangladesh to bat first. They were bowled out for 232 runs. Shakib Al Hassan and Mushfiqur Rahim scored 86 runs for the 5th wicket, rescuing their team from a possible collapse. Shakib Al Hassan made 55 and Mushfiqur Rahim top scored with 61. Shaminder Eranga bowled best for Sri Lanka, claiming 4 wickets for 49 runs. Suranga Lakmal took 3 wickets for 66. Dimuth Karunaratne was not out on 28, while Kaushal Silva unbeaten on 30, making 60 runs for no loss in their first innings. Kandy SC beat Upcountry Lions by 46 points to 22 in their inter-club rugby tournament match. Kandy scored their 46 points over 5 goals and 1 try and 2 penalties. Sri Lanka Air Force beat Hambantota Sharks in another inter-club rugby tournament match, beat 34 points to 25 at Air Force grounds in Ratmalana yesterday. The final week matches of Dialogue Inter-Club Rugby Tournament were concluded yesterday. 6 teams were qualified to play for Championship Shield. Navy is in the lead in the bonus point table. 4 teams were qualified for Plate Championship. Sri Lanka has won the Women's Championship in the 5th South Asian Nihon Shotokan Karate Tournament in Kathmandu, Nepal. South Africa has won the US 7-side rugby tournament played in Las Vegas. They beat New Zealand by 17 points to 14. This was the second victory of South Africa this year.
With that, we wrap up today's bulletin of Rupavahini News. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Take care. Good night.
Good night.